as far as your life as a jingle maker, how many drafts do you have to go through before you know You Deserve a Break Today is the one, or you're the Pepsi generation, or did you also write I'm a Pepper, he's a Pepper?
No.
Okay, but you wrote for Dr. Pepper, right? Correct. Yeah. And Band-Aid, and I'm stuck on Band-Aid, and I'm sure you know everything.
Yeah.
Or even today, kids know Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is there. How do you know when you have the perfect 8-second tag?
It comes real easy to me. And the commercial world, the world that I was in, they would give me a lyric, or they would give me a couple of lines, and that's what I had to create. So if they gave me a lyric, well, get out of the way. I can write a melody to anything, and I got them a lot. I got these jobs a lot. I love those years. I just love those years. I learned so much about making records. I worked with the greatest musicians because they get paid big to do a commercial, and so they were so helpful to me. I was so green during those years. But when I left, I knew what I was doing, and I knew I wanted to stay there. I never really thought about singing, never.
So the learning curve of it all, like, did you have a mentor to actually teach you the ropes, or this is stuff you had to learn on the way to it?
No. It was just a job, and they liked what I did. I was one of like 5 guys that tried out for these commercials, and I would get them, the other guy would get them, the girl would get them, I would get them, and we would all try to.
So there's like 4 other versions of Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is there that we don't know about?
Yeah, and they were great. These people were great. Really, I don't even know how I was able to compete with them. They were wonderful.
I respect that because when I started at late night, one of the biggest songwriting challenges, this is when I knew, like, I don't know anything about songwriting, is like when you have to write a 5-second tag jingle, and they would literally send us back. They'll be like, okay, this is called Hot Dog in a Hole. Give me a 5-second jingle. And we'd write it, and they'd be like, no, we need more. Like, they literally wanted emotion, and I'm like, dude, it's just a 5-second tag for a game. Like, I didn't think it was that serious, but after 5 years of doing that, I now realize that, I didn't know whatever I had before I came to the Tonight Show. Writing 5-second jingles as a muscle memory exercise has now made me a monster for real songs. But how do you handle rejection if someone doesn't like it? Like, do you come home and remix it, or do you?
Well, if I can, no. In that world, it's yes or no. That's it. They don't change their mind. That's it. Yes or no.
Okay.
And me, I go on to the next thing.
All right. So I can imagine, at least with the Bell Records connection, but can you talk about your working relationship with Ron Dante and him producing like your run of albums, how your working relationship was? And first of all, well, to hear you say it, how did you finally decide that, yes, I will become a singer and release my own music?
Yeah. Even when I met Ron Dante, I never considered myself a singer. I was a songwriter, I was the arranger, I was a piano player. And so when I met Ron Dante at a commercial session, I had written the piece, I forget what the thing was, and then the producer asked me if to sing in that group. That's when I got some big money, when I was on the spot. Because as a songwriter, I got $500.
Work for hire, and then.
Well, they don't, unless you're on the spot singing, right, talking, you don't get residuals. So I wrote.
Wait, so the songwriter doesn't get residuals,
no,
but the person that sings it gets the. So Luther Vandross would get all the residuals for singing.
Yeah, I started
your
to
Pepsi song.
Yeah, I started to get really big checks, but not as the songwriter. I got $500 for State Farm is There. That's it.
So to this day, when I hear it,
500.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. But when I sang on the spot, well, watch out. Those were really great. So I met Ron Dante on on one of those kind of sessions. Mm-hmm. He was fantastic. He doesn't read music, but he's so talented. He gets it like that, and his voice is so pleasant on the radio. They hire him for everything because
he was once the voice of the Sugar for the Argies, correct?
Yeah, that was a big one for him. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we did a session together, and we went out for lunch or something, and we started talking about what about making a record, because I had written some stuff that he really liked. So we said, sure, so we pulled our money, and we went into the recording studio, and I thought he was going to sing the lead, because I really never even thought about myself as a singer, never. But he didn't know the lyric, and he didn't know the melody.
Right.
So I went in there and sang, and I felt ridiculous because I never really thought about me being a singer, and we played our demos for record companies, and they liked me. Really, what are you talking about? But they liked me, and eventually I got a record deal at Bell Records.